This is lesson 38. Here's your warm-up. So do this and then come back to it. So do it, hit pause, and then come back. Given the functions, so we've got a function here in point slope form, and we've got another function in standard form. So let's change both of these functions to slope intercept form. So y minus 2 equals 1/3 times the quantity x plus 6. So we'll distribute and we'll get y minus 2 equals 1/3 x, and 1 times 6 makes 6, divided by 3 makes 2. And so we'll add 2 to both sides, and we get y equals 1/3 x plus 4. So that's this one, that's the top left one. And this one, x minus 3y equals negative 21. So what are we going to do? We want to solve this for y. We eventually want this to say y equals, right? So we'll subtract x. So we get negative 3y equals negative x minus 21. Divide by negative 3. So we get y equals negative 1 divided by negative 3 makes 1/3 x, positive. 2 negatives make a positive. 2 negatives make a positive here. And so what can we see? We can see that they've got the same slope, right? So with the same slope, we know we have parallel lines. Can't have perpendicular lines if they're parallel. Do they have the same y-intercept? No. The lines are the same? No. So the lines are just parallel, and that's how we proved it. And then, given the domain, right? Domain is possible x values. Standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are integer coefficients. Range are possible y values. A function is anything that relates two variables, and where every input has exactly one output. Slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. Slope is change in y over change in x, or rise over run. M. Point slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. Homework questions we'll do in class. So we only have 2 examples here for 38. First, this should be a review too, because we've already gone over some piecewise functions. So piecewise functions, if I'm going to graph this, I think, let's do this in a different color. So if I was going to graph this top one, that's the same as y equals 2x plus 3, right? And so our y-intercept is at 3, and our slope is 2. So we're going up 2, right 1, or down 2, left 1. But our constraint says that we just want x values that are what? X values that are greater than or equal to 2. So where's x2? Well, that's 2 here. And greater than or equal to would be to the right of that, right? And including 2. So where x is 2, right there, 2, 7, we're going to put a closed circle because of this equal symbol. And we'll continue this out, and we'll erase the rest of these points that aren't greater than or equal to 2. Let's take a look at our next one. The next one says f of x equals negative x minus 3. So that would be y equals negative x minus 3. And our constraints there are x values that are less than 2. So that's on the left side of 2 here, right? So we have the right side of 2 for the blue one, and we want the left side of 2 for the green one. We're not including the 2 because we don't have the equal symbol, so this one's going to be an open circle here. So what's our y-intercept? Is negative 3. So negative 3. And what's our slope? Down 1, right 1. So we'll go down 1, right 1 until we get to 2. Now at 2, because we don't have the equal symbol, we'll use an open circle here. And now we're not going to go past that because we just want the values that are less than 2. So that's enough, and there's our line. So that's our graph of this piecewise function. So then what we'll also want to be able to do is take a picture and create our own piecewise function. So we'd say f of x equals, and let's do our green one first. So what's our y-intercept here? Looks like a y-intercept of 3, right? And what's our slope? Looks like a slope of down 1, right 2. So that would be down 1, right 2. That's negative 1/2. So can we write our equation of our line? F of x equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. And then our constraint is if, and then what are our x values here? We're at 2, right? So it's x and 2. And what are we? We're going to the left, so we're less than, and we have an open circle, so I don't have the equal sign. So if x values are less than 2, that's our constraint for that green one. So now the red one, little bit harder here for the red one, because we need to follow this out. We need to find this slope and follow it out and find our y-intercept, right? So it looks like I've got lattice points, you know, every we're going down 2, left 1, right? So I continue this on, and this isn't actually part of my graph. I'm just using this to find where my y-intercept would be. So it looks like our y-intercept would be at negative 7. What's our slope? I know I said down 2, left 1, but down 2, left 1, right? Negative 2 over negative 1. What is that? That's positive 2. Look, we're going up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, as we move like we read from left to right. So what's this equation? F of x equals 2x minus 7 for x values that are what? For x values that are greater than or equal to 2. Because this is the point 2, negative 3, right? And we've got a closed circle. Our x value is 2 there. So greater than or equal to 2. And that's all we do. That's how you write the equations of a piecewise function. Now, none of this is part of that. Okay, that was just our work shown. So that's what we should, you know, you can write on those and you can do it to get our answer.